What's up guys, my name is Ace, and I'm back to play in Warzone at least a little bit on the side alongside multiplayer. And this is one big key reason that I'll be talking about today, and it's not just the return of Verdansk itself. Now just a little recap, I know I haven't really covered Warzone properly in a really long time. And the simple reason for that is I had fun with Warzone in the first year or so of it being out, especially with friends, but I simply burnt out on the Battle Royale formula. I was playing Warzone as well as several other Battle Royales at the time, and it just wasn't hitting the same for me. I found it to be more stressful than enjoyable and fun, and I found that I was essentially forcing myself to play it for content on YouTube. So about 3 years ago, I just decided to quit Warzone entirely, and it's honestly felt great finally breaking myself away from that. Now in all that time over the years, nothing that they did really interested me at all, and I've never really felt the desire to come back, until they announced Verdansk as returning, as well as many of the original gameplay mechanics. So of course, at least for nostalgia's sake, I wanted to finally dive back in and see how things were going. And I hopped in day one of Verdansk on my PS5, and I had a generally rough experience with the game. I know many of you were probably watching me live stream that on Twitch, and I was not having the greatest experience with it that day. And honestly, a lot of that can easily just be attributed to a skill issue. I'd been out of the Battle Royale genre entirely for years, so I was obviously very rusty. While I was getting a few kills here or there and I was getting more kills than deaths, I wasn't really surviving for very long, wasn't really getting any flow going. So that was obviously a big part of it. I actually spent more time in menus in between games. Matchmaking was also insanely slow that day for some reason, but I actually spent more time in menus than I did playing the game. And then another big thing I was noticing is on my PlayStation, my frame rates were horrible, and I was noticing a lot of input lag as well, so it just didn't feel good at all. So by the end of that stream, I was not happy with Warzone. However, after I cooled off a little bit, I decided to download it again on my PC and give it a shot there, and immediately, frame rates were significantly better. The game felt so much smoother. There was little to no input lag now, and it felt like an entirely different game compared to console. So there was a very serious difference performance-wise there. Which, by the way, that also makes it quite frustrating that they've removed the ability to disable crossplay for regular Warzone matches. Just as a side note for anybody playing on console right now, you are at a significant disadvantage to PC players. And we're not talking about inputs here, we're just talking about the hardware performance. It's crazy how big of a difference that makes. And since I re-downloaded a game on PC, I've actually been having a pretty good time messing around in Warzone, but not necessarily just because of Verdansk or the returning gameplay elements. Honestly, the biggest thing that is saving Warzone for me right now and keeping me coming back for more, especially after taking years off, is the casual BR mode. This is the mode where there's 120 bots and 28 real players. You play a full Battle Royale match from start to finish, so it's not like Boot Camp where it's all bots and it's already a shrunk down circle. It's a full Battle Royale game. And I've been having a really fun time with this overall, largely because it's just not stressful at all. And that's one of the big reasons I burnt out on Battle Royale. Like I said, I just found it was more stressful than fun for me. And I think a huge part of that is just due to the fact that I don't really have that much time to invest in grinding the game. I know I make Call of Duty content for a living, but most of my day is spent making that content, not actually playing the game. So I get fairly limited gameplay time. So I find that I end up in the weird place where I'm good enough to get into the lobbies with the streamers that play 8 hours a day, but not good enough to actually reliably compete with them and get anywhere gameplay-wise against those types of players. And I just don't have the spare time to continue to invest more and more playtime, and therefore I just end up burning out and quitting the game entirely. But the Warzone casual mode solved this issue entirely for me. I can play full-length Battle Royale matches now while getting consistent kills, even though obviously a lot of those kills are against bots. Most of those kills are against bots. And I know a kill against a bot isn't nearly as exciting or rewarding as a kill against a real player, but there are real players mixed in there and they keep you on your toes. And I really like the dynamic of getting into those real fights in between the bot fights. Additionally, once you get to the end game, it's almost always going to be just real players in the end game. You still might get the odd bot here or there, but for the most part, by the time you're end game, it's just real squads. And therefore, from that moment on, it plays just like a regular Battle Royale game in my experience. And that's arguably the most exciting part of a Battle Royale game is that end game. So you get like the best part of the BR almost every single game because it's pretty easy to make it to the end game in casuals. At least more often than not. Sometimes you get that crazy squad that just comes and wipes you nice and early on in the match. But more often than not, I'm making it to the end game. And this has totally brought me back to Warzone. Without this mode, I don't think I would have logged back in after struggling on PS5 that first day. And I think I would have been done with Warzone entirely. So this has 100% saved Warzone for me. And at the moment, I'm actually playing Warzone a bit on the side. And I'm actually going to be streaming it from time to time as well. and I plan on continuing to do that, and that means I may make some Warzone content here or there as well. Keeping in mind, I'm not abandoning multiplayer. That's still my main focus. It's still primarily what I enjoy playing. But for now, I'm perfectly happy just playing the casual mode, taking the time to ease back into everything without the stress of real matches. I'm not really out here trying to compete or capture insane gameplays where I'm just running through lobbies of real players. I simply don't have the time or interest to invest in getting that good at the game. And while maybe eventually, after playing enough of this casual mode, I'll feel confident again with my skills in Battle Royale and my general awareness of what's going on, that I will branch out into the regular modes a bit more. And that's really the beauty of this mode, is it provides that nice safe place where you can just kind of chill, get a good feel for things. You're actually playing through a full Battle Royale match, so it gives you the opportunity to properly experience the full match and how things evolve over time as well, so it's good practice for getting into real matches. Like I said, you still have real squads in there to keep you on your toes, so it's not like completely laid back and chill and boring because you're just shooting bots all the time. There is actually a little bit of competition in there, but nothing too crazy, nothing overwhelming for the most part. And this really has me wondering, since we have this new safe space mode that you can go into and it's fully under your control, I wonder if something like this means they could start dialing back the matchmaking a little bit in regular modes. Otherwise, regular modes and ranked seem like they're just going to be kind of redundant. Like I said, I've been out of the game for a long time, so I don't know what the SBMM is like in regular modes, but just based on my limited experience, it seems like it's still reasonably strict. So my understanding is regular modes and ranked are honestly going to be a pretty similar thing when it comes to how difficult the matches are. It's just with ranked, you get a rank attached to your wins and your kills and whatever, whereas with regular modes, you don't. And this just has me wondering, are those now going to be redundant now that we have this casual mode? And in order to avoid that redundancy, maybe the regular mode should be a much more mixed experience. So it's a gradual increase in difficulty where if you want easy mode, you go to casuals. You want medium or mixed mode where you can get a little bit of anything, you go into regular modes. And then if you really want super strict competition, you can go into ranked play. If you get overwhelmed by ranked play, you can drop down to regular modes. If you get overwhelmed by regular modes, you can drop down to casual BR to practice a little bit or just warm up a little bit before getting into regular modes. Like I said in a video not too long ago, before we actually got our hands on this, but after we heard about this, I think this could be one of the best possible solutions going forward to the whole SBMM situation and the frustrations that arise. Essentially, let players choose what kind of difficulty level they want. And I think essentially having easy, mixed, and hard with varying levels of rewards as you get harder and harder in the difficulties, that sounds great to me. And there we go. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say here, aside from one big hope that I have. Going forward with casual BR, I would love to see them add solos to this as well. As it is right now, I don't really have a problem just playing with squad fill and ending up with random players. That's fine, but I would like to experience this as a solo player as well, and just playing against other solos and not knowing if I'm going to run into a bot or a real player. I really would love to see how that goes, and I am wondering if Warzone Casual is popular enough right now, which it does seem to be. I'm seeing a lot of praise for this mode online. I wonder if they can justify bringing a solo mode as well. I realize they don't want to split up the player base too many ways, but for a mode like this, it's not like you need 150 real players to form a match. You only need 28. Now, of course, those are just my thoughts on this casual BR mode and my general thoughts on Warzone, and this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. First off, how are you guys feeling about the return of Verdansk and some of the older gameplay mechanics? And second, how do you feel about the Warzone casual mode as well? Have you guys been playing it much? Have you been enjoying it? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.